Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Hop through the wormhole with us this week as we pilot a living ship through the inner arms of outer space, dodging strange alien life forms and authoritarian militaries. In this episode of Cosmic Farscript, this is your Peacekeeper and Game Master Patrick here, and joining me in Jim Henson puppet-inspired tales of space rogues and outer space warriors are my five friends, your players. To my far left, the stalwart token human who just wants to get back to Earth. It's Jabert jabbering away his jam from.
I just want to see my wife and kids.
Across the digital table from me, a cute little puppet who farts helium for his friends. Its smiles make him believe is redacted.
Good evening.
To my right, a scorned warrior falsely accused of wife murder. It's Tyler talking to Spray Deer.
Hello there.
To my immediate left, a plant person who only wants to unify the crew in a Zen garden. We have Drew dying to play Zilix Thel.
What is this, season 12 of SG1?
And across from him, a former peacekeeper with a chip on her shoulder. It's none other than Rebecca rolling with Asher and Sky.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. This is the hardest intro for me to write because I know like nothing about the Farscape.
You had a plant person and didn't use me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a single episode.
Oh, really?
Maybe the first episode at some point. And I was like, oh, why am I watching this?
That honestly surprises me. The show was pretty apparently not popular in Australia where it was filmed, but very popular everywhere else.
Isn't that the one that has like Henson puppets for?
Yeah. I mentioned Jim Henson in my intro.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I was looking up sassafras allergies.
Oh my!
Don't they also have a living ship?
Yes.
I also.
I wasn't listening. These are the two things that I know about Farscape.
I wanted one more. I so bad.
I dare you, Rebecca.
I wanted to be like, I wasn't listening. Just one more.
Oh, man. The rule of three.
Don't they also have peacekeepers in that show?
The reason I only know two things is because I wasn't listening to Patrick. He said five things, right?
Yeah, he said more things than that.
I said a couple things.
Did you know there was a plant person on that show?
They got a plant person on that show.
A plant person.
It's crazy. There was a plant person. Yeah.
She actually ended up leaving the show because the makeup was
Rebecca?
giving her the plant person. The makeup was giving her skin allergies.
Sassafras.
Yeah. It was made out of sassafras.
She was allergic to it, so she had to go.
But Claudia Black, who played Aaron's son on that, you, Patrick, have heard that voice for many, many years because she's Tess Everest in Destiny.
Oh, right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's in a ton of stuff, but very good. Ben Browder is the main character of that show. I know that, but I don't. But once again, I know all these characters from Stargate, which is Rowley's actor. But it's one I would like to go. There's only like 4 seasons, so I feel like it would be very digestible.
There's a couple of movies too, but I never got around to those.
Yes, yeah. There's something that like wraps it up. Just never seemed like I was missing out, if you know what I mean.
This honestly surprises me, but you know.
Well, the only reason it's really surprising is because like this came out in 1999, so I was in high school, and that was prime. I have nothing to do on Friday nights, so let's watch the Sci-Fi Channel time for me. Like my sophomore year of high school, wasn't going on dates or anything, so I was playing Warhammer 40K in my friend's garage. And I guess maybe that's what I was doing Friday night instead of watching Farscape. I'm just guessing it was on Friday night. But I did watch Stargate, and I think it led into Farscape. So maybe I just turned the TV off after Stargate.
Which is weird because Lex came on after that. So you watched SG1, you skipped Farscape, and then you watched Lex.
Yeah, that probably happened. Yeah, that probably happened the whole like 3 or 4 years worth. That show is now 25 years old. Ooh, feeling very old. Are you guys ready to get back into our own space adventure with weird aliens and a non-living starship in the form of a space wagon?
This would be a lot cooler if we had a plant person, though.
Yeah. Go back a couple seasons.
I'm on it. I just need, if Patrick hits me with some more radiation, I may sprout something, and then I'll be close. I'll be so close.
You turn into a mushroom person.
Yes.
Mushroom cloud.
it's the next step after being undead.
Yeah.
You just turn into sporing.
Fertilizer. Yeah.
You just turn into a sentient mushroom that's digesting your corpse.
Oh, that's so cool. Patrick, make it
That actually
happen.
kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Honestly, that'd be pretty cool. Like if your character is just prone to dying a lot, just have like a plan. It's like, okay. And honestly, in Pathfinder 2nd edition, there's like tons of rules for making your character undead. We've done it several times in our IRL game where someone comes back as a part ghost. Someone comes back as
come back as a skeleton if you want to. If you got if all you got's bones.
Yeah. Right? You can come back as a zombie, and then maybe if you die again, you there's not much left of your corpse, and you just turn into a little mushroom leshy.
Yeah. All right.
It's like, I can't die. Beans.
All right. Undead fungal leshy is what's next if you kill me.
Sounds fun. This week's episode is not going to start with last time on. Last time on, you guys beat up on Oscana and saved a true hero, a Drift Rider hero of the universe.
But not Oscana.
Not Oscana. She didn't save.
I feel a little bad about
Absalom.
that. Oscana,
Yeah.
I was a little confused last week. So Oscana, was she secretly a vampire the whole time, or she was overcome by the Void Shard vampire and became evil?
Well, she
was infected the whole time.
Yeah, she was a Void Shard. She was transforming, but indeed she seemed whatever dark power that seemed to be feeding off of an Alyndra Valis kind of exited her and jumped into Oscana, which completed the transformation. This week's episode starts with a very long, drawn-out, slow-motion montage as we see Jamfram helping the weakened Alyndra Valis out of the Aslanti base. Following behind them, the survivors carrying the bodies of the two fallen explorers of the expedition to the lost jungle valley of Plaustov.
Somehow when you said that, it felt like you're using quotation marks when you said explorers.
Explorers.
Like exploring.
And then slow motion walk of redacted Asher and Sky, Zilix and Prey Deer out onto the surface of the moon. And I think I do want to fast forward a bit, but we can, talk about conversations you have. You got to make your way back, maybe with the use of Redacted's vehicle. Oh, and also spare parts. And of course, Cattywampus is there.
Start tugging spare parts.
Oh, that's so heavy.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, I don't care if it's reduced gravity on the moon. Yeah, I make your way back to the elfin portal, back to the jungle. Another day or so of travel to the edge of the jungle, and then once with your communication ranged, the rescue ships come from Plaustov, a couple of dusty transport ships to airlift everyone back to the main settlement of Plaustov City. You guys have succeeded at book 3, basically, of taking care of the many problems that were plaguing Plaustov. That's very fun to say.
And dispatching their ruler in the process.
Yeah, just absolutely taking out the competition. But also, rescuing everyone else in that expedition, finding out exactly what happened to them, tracking them all the way to the moon and then back again. So indeed, there is a massive celebration awaiting you in Plaustov City as the surviving members of that exploration team make it back to their families. Quibbo, the butcher Miles that Redacted seem to have a bond with, is waiting in the crowd to embrace his daughter Benilla, who's one of the expedition folk.
I think Redacted also had like a bunch of stuff that Redacted stashed away for
I think you took some
Perhaps.
dinosaur meat.
Yeah.
Brought
So
some dinos with
there are
you.
certainly some delicate meats that Redact has delivered to him.
Yeah.
The jerky payoff is huge.
That's right.
Well, there's all kinds of cheering in the crowd as people did not believe that they would ever see these folks again. They've been gone over a month, well over a month. But yeah, there's talks of parties. Zertel invites everyone to trenches to celebrate, but there's a hush that falls over the crowd as the bodies of Oskana and the medic RJ are removed from the ship and taken to the coroner to kind of, I guess, lay in state for a little while. But while they're sad to have lost their leader, they're so excited that everyone else was able to make it back. And the 5 of you, I guess 6 with the goblin, the space goblin, you guys all made it back as well. Didn't have to die another time, Tyler. Look at that.
I tried so
also
hard
sure they're
in that
excited about
last fight.
Alyndra being alive too.
Yeah. She regains her strength afterwards and is definitely willing to party hardy with you guys. Trenches is packed to the gills. It seems like the entire town is trying to get in. There's a lot more food on the menu. It seems like the prices have come down a little bit since you were here a week ago when you came into town. And yeah, there's a music playing as is that a halfling? No. Hiblib, the Asoki musician, is playing with a little bit of accompaniment. He's got some, like a little band with him playing some tunes.
And some jizz.
You know it. He's belted that jizz out.
Look up your Star Wars history, nerds.
Right. I was like, I saw some facial expressions that didn't seem to know
Yeah,
the weird history of Star Wars.
That term is legends now because Disney is all cowards. How dare they?
You know what? I agree.
I don't like any Disney Star Wars now that jizz is no longer canon.
And they even had like a music like special for Visions. They had a music episode.
They were like, it's a good thing this thing is called.
And there goes our clean tag.
Yep.
Let's go on out, gang.
I mean, we weren't doing great.
No,
let's be honest.
That's fair.
It was a fun run. Rip.
Kathleen Kennedy got a raise for that.
I'm trying to Google.
Try and edit here.
I was about to say, leave some blanks so we can edit it out. Stop saying it. God. Oh, gross.
Kathleen Kennedy. Canto bite.
This is going to be something bloopers. I like those. The best is still.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bleep Jabber. It's gonna be very difficult, but it's worth it for our
Yes,
audience.
yours. Do you
What
not
was
remember
mine?
your infamous blooper?
No.
Also, some for some Starfinder.
Stop saying things we have to
Totally forgot
stop bleeping out. So
man.
okay, so
I was unhinged 5 years ago.
Just about all Plaustov is in the bar trenches. Is there anyone you want to talk to? Anybody you want to check in on? Or
I want to go talk to this musician, and I want to talk to the music.
we have some questions.
don't you say? He's like, I'm playing jazz. Have you heard of jazz music?
It's like very clearly like recorded at a different time.
I should go back and do like a robotic voice jazz. But yeah, Lapley is there, the veterinarian, the Asoki veterinarian, and welcomes you guys all back as well. Any questions you have? Anything you want to do here while the entire town is celebrating you? All of Plaustov City is welcoming you back with open arms.
What was the name of the acting mayor, acting governor?
Of Plaustov.
Yes.
Have his name right? Zalny Lant.
Zalny. Okay.
Say it.
Are they there?
Lant.
Lant.
Lant. It's 2 T's, LANTT. Yeah, of course. Of course. He's like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to hear of what happened to Oscana, but I'm so happy you all were able to come back and bring back so many survivors from our town. This is truly a blessed operation you all executed.
Well, I'm glad the results are positive. What will become of the leadership of Plaustov? Do you intend to change from a temporary leadership position to a more permanent one?
I could not tell you. I haven't even really thought about it. I imagined eventually we would have to have a new election, but perhaps we can talk about this tomorrow. You all eat up. They're serving dinner now, and you're the guests of honor, of course.
Sure. I mean, it will be nice to not just eat rations, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's it's pretty good grub. Like I said, all fresh food, meats, and veggies.
We're all pretty backed up from MREs for the last.
Dino meat and MREs. It's just not good stuff.
Too many protein shakes.
Tons of Acatonian spiced foods are brought out, which I mentioned very, very Tex-Mexy.
Yeah, the Acatonian egg salad in particular is a treat.
That's just deviled eggs between 2 pieces of bread.
We can charge more if we say it's from Akaton.
It's served on a red rock, so
Yeah, Lapley is super excited. She's like, oh, well, since y'all been gone, I've started taking over the racetrack and converting it to a recreational riding facility. I'm basing my new veterinary practice right out of the rat catcher's office, where you murdered those gangsters.
All of them. None of them got away.
You're welcome.
I'm pretty sure one did. I think I saw them running, but
no, it won't come back.
They were caught. They're what you're eating right now.
Yeah, you see the folks who were kind of feuding over the food prices from the markets to the cattle ranchers, kind of all breaking bread together at various tables throughout the bar.
The farmer and the cowman can be friends.
Umor, the Kasathan mechanic, his arm seems to be out of the sling. He gives you 4 thumbs up from across the room.
Praetor will issue a challenge to any patron. He will buy their drinks if they can successfully resist one of his spells. So he gets to cast a spell on them, and if they manage to save against it, then he'll buy their drinks.
The joke's on you, Tyler.
For as long as he has spells.
None of these bar patrons are alive. They're all brainless.
All right, this is how we suss them out. This is how we suss out those liars.
Tyler's like,
they're all plants. Sorry.
Please let one of these humanoids come at me.
Yeah, bro. It's just like I feel like I have so many spell slots. It's a waste to go to not go through them all. So
yeah, but for the most part, everyone does come up to you at some point during the dinner and thank you for helping out through the town. Indeed, Rustos Threll also comes over and says, we're gonna be transferring the payment that we owes you for a hard week's work in just a little bit, the remaining 5,000 UPBs that were promised. And they've scraped up some lumber and food and other goods worth 3,000 credits here in town for gratitude, bringing back all these loved ones from the jungle.
We appreciate it, and I promise we will put them to good use.
Yeah, and the next day, actually, let's have a little conversation. Did you guys have any questions for one Alyndra Valis, hero of the multiple hero of the Drift Rider crew, savior of the Absalom center of the galaxy? And
I was going to ask if Alyndra ever spoke to us. Before we get to Alyndra, how much payment did we get each?
1,600.
It's no. What? Oh, yeah, 1,600 credits / UPBs in total.
Now, is that the 3,000 we're getting from this is on top of the 3,000 we got from selling the gems too, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So
And the clocks.
So altogether, you should have around 4,300 credits or so from maybe a little bit less than that from everything.
No, according to my notes, Aslanti gems, clocks, and payment should come to 2,800. Did we get something else too?
Plus the 1,600, so that we just got.
No, that's including the 1,600.
Oh, we should have more.
There was other stuff that we found before we went through the portal, because the gems were right before we went in the portal, and we could talk about this offline probably.
Yeah. Because we're not going to talk necessarily about what you're buying right now.
I thought I was taking good notes of what I was earning, but apparently not. Okay.
Any questions for Alyndra Valis? She seems mostly to be keeping to herself, letting you guys have your moment here. And
How much can you lift, bro? Ask her how much she can lift.
Oh, great question. What is Alyndra's strength? Can Jamfram outlift an Alyndra Valis?
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not.
When I remember beefing up her strength quite a lot there at the end.
I think it was. Yeah, my guess is you probably had at least a +6 by the end. So
Yeah, how embarrassed are you that you got taken out by like a level 8 creature?
Yeah, I'm confused by that. Actually, can I ask Alyndra?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How'd you mess up this bad?
Hello, it's Asher and Sky, is it? Hi, I'm Alyndra Valis.
Alyndra, it's wonderful to make your acquaintance, but can you tell me how you ended up on this expedition in the first place?
Well, I was granted a research fellowship to come out to New Galarion here, as you and some other colonies have reported seeing ancient structures potentially uncovered during the settlement of the planet. So we thought maybe we had struck Pater and had found some ancient civilizations, and we examined some of them and found that they weren't really that old. Some of them between 300, 800 years. As far as what we would be looking for, we don't think that'd be extremely close to what it was. But as I said, the Plaustov had found this little valley, this little area that seemed to defy a lot of the other pieces of terrain in the nearby area. And we thought this might be kind of a time capsule to look at some of this planet's ancient past. And we did find the Ayudara and what looked like an elven site. And to be honest, they did look very similar to some of the sites we've seen on Castrovel, but I still wasn't convinced. I don't know how old they are. I wasn't able to finish my research, but something about it just didn't sit right with me. So I might be off after this. I don't know. I might go look at some of the other colonies here on this planet, see if I can find some more corroborating evidence to see what is the true unsolved question that needs to be answered here on this planet. Where did New Galarion go? What happened to it? Where did all the ruins of the cities go? It seems almost too good to be true, what we have found. And usually when that's the case, you know what they say.
What did they say?
It is too good to be true.
Oh,
when it seems too good to be true. That's an old Castravelian
made that
saying.
jump.
No, you probably don't.
Okay.
You probably
Well, we would love to have you join us back at Veridian Colony. We've found some very strange things ourselves in the area. A stone pillar of some kind. Radiated
I
power
read
plant.
the notes. Those stone pillars were about 100 years old. I'm trying to look for like several thousand years old, potentially way before the gap, to see what happened. And I'm a Starfinder. We're trying to find the stars and uncover the mystery.
Didn't we find that underground temple
You're not going to find a
thing?
star on the moon. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, that was also, I think, only like 300 years old. I think it was.
All right.
I think it was post gap. So.
Well, it seems we have nothing to offer you, Alyndra.
I was about to say, despite
look
all
elsewhere.
all your attempts to get a level 20 party member, she got bigger fish to fry. She's trying to complete the Starfinders. Like, what if the end of this podcast season, all the answers of the Starfinders are answered by this GM? What if I'm just like, no, I'm gonna answer all the questions. No more answers in this, or questions in this universe. Yeah. So that is, well, any other questions for Alyndra? Anybody can ask these. It doesn't have to be just Becca.
Seems good.
I was going to look up Alyndra's. Oh, I only have her to level 17 in my sheet. Her strength at level 17 was +8.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, where was she at level 7? Where you guys are now? Well, yeah, exactly.
Let me see. Does Google Sheets have history? I bet it does.
The next day, you guys indeed are partied out and maybe can take a late lunch with the acting mayor and Rustost, and go up to their office. And Zalny kind of coughs when you come in, and thanks you again, shakes everyone's hand, and says, "It is a very hard time with Oskana's death. Everything else that has happened here, the residents, the citizens here in Plaustov have some serious concerns about the future of our charter. We've already bled so many settlers to other colonies. Oskana was a very, very decent leader, but without the real support of the folks back on Akaton, the firms that were, had handshake deals with her, once she left, it did fall to pieces very quickly. I don't want this colony to be so dependent upon a single person anymore. Not myself, not anyone. And I've done some research, and legally we found it is very possible for another charter to buy out a neighboring charter, essentially merging the two. Of course, I think the citizens of Plaustov and the other charter would have, of course, a say in the matter, which is why I've already called an emergency vote this afternoon. And if the resolution passes, well, would it be all right? Would you folks from Veridian allow our city, our charter, to join yours?
Securing this the security of a settlement this far away from our own could be tricky, but I think with the resources with how productive this colony has become in recent months, we could do it from a technical standpoint. President El Presidente. I look over at Pradier.
Stop speaking space Spanish.
Yes, I mean, ideally, there is a lot of land that splits us, but I think with some work, we could attract a lot of the people who left Plaustov to come back, regain its strength a little. I think you would find the people and leadership of Veridian to be very welcoming to have Plaustov amongst its number.
So if both Veridian and Plaustov were to expand out to try and kind of bridge the gap between the two, it would probably only take about half a year to do so, and to like literally build roads and explore the area between. You guys are neighboring charters, so
yeah, it's not like there's another charter in between the two of us.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Take us to the
there's also not
map.
There's also not like a mountain range called the Impossible Pass, right? That kind of bummed me out.
No?
Cool. Just making sure.
Is that a feature of Galarion?
I have no idea. I am no Galarion geography expert. I just wanted to,
put that out there. Got it. Oh, right.
Yeah,
so
just south.
If you all agree, he looks super relieved. Zalny shakes your hands again and talks about how they did some polling before you guys even came back, and it was already pretty positive then after you saved everyone. it might almost be unanimous. You've made a pretty big impression. Yeah, Mr. Threll here. I always forget. Is his name Rustos Threll? Yes. It's not Threll Rustos, is it? Why am I getting this wrong?
I believe you've used both canonically on the show.
Oh no. I only call him
Rustos.
Threll in my notes right now.
Womp womp.
Mr. Threll. No, I think it's Threll
Covering the
Rustos.
bases.
Mr. Threll Rustos, talks to you all and says he was planning on retiring soon anyway, but he's more than willing to stay on long enough to ensure there's a smooth transition, and he is willing to work for Veridian in that time. Yeah, a digital vote is given out to all of Plaustov, and the settlement comes back. It is almost nearly unanimous. There is one Ahsoki gangster who votes by mail, who's pretty anti-Veridian people, but for the most part, it's very unanimous. There's hundreds and hundreds of vote casts for you guys to buy out this charter. So there's a whole nother party the next day. You guys can't get away from the party.
Oh no, not all the parties. We will unfortunately have to inform Threll that Veridian has recently raised the retirement age, so he's gonna probably have to keep working for a little while longer.
All sassafras. all pork and beans.
Yeah,
He
classic.
says that's a classic Threll that you remember so much from all the times you've met him.
So many times.
Right. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of time skips now because we're just gonna skip ahead to you guys getting back to Veridian and getting welcome back to all those characters that we've basically abandoned for an entire book.
We found newer, better versions of you in a faraway land.
They were space cowboys. Hey,
Yeah.
we made friends. No, Ezirand Shire has got. When you guys get back, it's only been like a week or so, but he has like a goatee that he started. And he's like, "Oh, you guys are back! Whoa, nothing's changed here. Just same old Veridian. You've done such a great job."
Ezirand,
Yeah.
shave that off.
No, what are you talking about? I've always had this. You guys
No.
are great. See,
No, shave that off.
he
But it's good to be
literally
back. Thank you.
he has clippers in his pocket. He's like, "I knew this was gonna happen." Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He hands you the hair. He's like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
Thank you.
Wastebasket then?
No. I can use this for spells. Thank you.
Oh. But do you want me to keep growing it?
No. It has to be. No, I'm okay. Thank you.
It has to be hair of a virgin that doesn't want to shave it. Very specific.
Very, yeah. Mm-hmm. In the component pouch it goes.
Okay. Is that how we're signing off before we do another time jump on the podcast? That's the last thing that happens. Yeah. Are there any other members of Veridian Colony you want to check in on? Any situations you want to handle?
Are there situations?
I don't know. You dropped several storylines just so you guys can play cowboys for a couple weeks.
Veach shows us some serums, but that's about all I can think of.
From like episode 3, he's gonna give you a couple of serums. Okay.
We got a bunch of cool serums from Veach, but that's about all I got.
No, nobody wants to check in on Tachi and Tukor's marriage.
Yeah, let's do that.
See
Let's
how they're
check in on it.
doing.
Not even a little bit.
Space Maury is here to talk about that.
They also grew mustaches. It's great.
Have like a half-hour conversation. Right. So yeah, we go through some seasons changing. Maybe another couple holidays pass by. See, in montage mode, you guys continue exploring the colony, now heading southeast towards Plaustov, and maybe meet up with another exploration crew that come out of Plaustov, some of the same team members that you saved from the Lost Valley, along with Umor and Lapley and some of the other colonists here. You meet the settlers in Veridian that moved away from Plaustov that you sent up here to go mess with Gels Deirdrick. They were like camped out in front of her house.
Perfect. So we should settle for that.
Besides that, you guys can kind of relax back into finishing up I think the second full year of colonization of this planet, this Outer Reaches planet. And part of that is I guess we can also just give like a lump sum amount of what you earned over this time if you guys don't want to make 5,000 profession rolls over here. But also something that happened last week, you all leveled up to level 7. Hey, no, we did. What? We're doing a mid-episode level up discussion. It's not the first time this has happened, but I do.
Is it not?
No, I think we've done it once before, actually. Let's talk about what you got at level 7. Leveling up. Who wants to go first?
I got a rock.
Miles got a rock?
Miles, mechanic's got to get something better. You got like a mechanic trick?
Yeah, I mean, I get some stuff. And some stuff I don't really understand because I'm playing an experimental character, which is always a hoot and a holler. But I do get the mechanic ability of the Miracle Worker, which is pretty fun. Did we go over that when you were a mechanic, Tyler?
I think we talked about it when I was a mechanic like a million years ago, but
yeah, Jabert used Miracle Worker.
Oh, he did. Okay, so it's that
was refreshers. What is Miracle Worker?
That was like 5 years ago. Yeah.
So as a move action, I can repair damage to a starship systems or modify a suit of armor or weapon to function more efficiently. So essentially, I can grant a +2 enhancement bonus to a weapon's attack or damage rolls for 1 minute, or I can grant a +2 bonus to a suit of armor's EAC and KAC for 1 minute.
But as we discussed 5 years ago, when you use that, you have to do it in a Scottish accent. So,
absolutely not.
As a move action, this is pretty good. You can use this ability once per day at 7th level, so it's pretty major. But it's a +2 enhancement bonus to both attack and damage on the weapon.
So that was one thing I wanted to clear up. Is it both, or do I have to choose?
I think it's
one or the other.
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Oh, good. Okay, that's way better than I expected.
Yeah, it's
so it's basically juicing up your weapon, or you could do it to an ally's technically.
So the one thing I wanted to go over with you, Patrick, is at the 7th level, the mechanic gets the rig replacement. And for the experimental vehicle mechanic, at the 7th level, you can select any type of graphs or special graphs when designing your vehicle. Does that mean I can do this from here on out, or can I change my current vehicle and its graph to fit whatever I want it to be?
Yeah, no. When you change
all it says is I can change the graft or special graft when designing the vehicle.
Yeah, so if you at this level want to redesign the vehicle, if you don't want the war chariot, you can.
So I can redesign the war chariot to like not have to be drawn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what all the various graphs are, but I think they're just like different skins and things, so you can make it potentially back into a whatchamacallit, like an aerial vehicle.
Or a Vista Cruiser.
I mean, I don't think that's one that's like in the rules, but
I mean, it will be a giant Vista Cruiser, but it will still be Vista Cruiser. But no, I saw one where it's like it's like cycle or a hovercraft, or there's several different kind of graphs that you can use. So during this time at the base, can Redacted redesign the war wagon to be more efficient and not rely on spare parts.
Yeah, I think that's.
Can we break down spare parts and use them as spare parts?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's about it. Also, I took long arm proficiency and grabbed that Aeon rifle with the Seeker fusion.
So there's a bunch of various graphs you can also add in, including the origin graph, where you can choose to make it an experimental, factory made, or prototype style vehicle. And And then it's also kind of change how the adjustments go and can increase or decrease the price of the changeover. So there's a lot of fun stuff with the vehicles that you can do. I don't think the experimental vehicle, as weird as it is, has to have the experimental graft, right? Let's see.
I don't think so.
Oh no, your vehicle must have the experimental graft. That's like the first thing it says in description. So,
Well, there
but
you go.
other graphs you can like increase its size or change the.
Well, it's
the
already
vehicle
huge,
size.
so I don't think I need to increase it anymore, right?
Gargantuan.
Well, we could talk about off air. Maybe
Yeah. But
spend
that's what I got at this level.
this week and next designing it. You can also take it back down a size if you don't want to.
Absolutely not. I want to run over things.
Well, if you want it to fit within, say, a 10-foot hallway,
That's fine.
There won't be any more of those in this AP, so we're good.
Nope.
Oh.
no hallways.
I read ahead.
no creatures with minds and no hallways from here on out. Great. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Jam from Jabber.
Yeah, it's soldiers get one thing this time, and it's a gear boost. So I'm picking up melee striker. It's pretty simple. It's just half my strength bonus to my damage with melee attacks. So plus 2 to damage. And that's my level.
Pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward. So
We talked about vehicles for like 5 minutes, and Jabber's like, I hit still theater.
I hit it gooder.
I hit it really. What, do you get any other feats or any other
Nope.
fun things?
Nope.
You don't get a.
Well, you should have gotten a feat.
You get a 7th level feat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I get. Oh, that's right. I get a. Oh yeah. Oh well. I guess I do get a feat. I'll be back.
Nope.
Jabert's hitting the books.
I was like, boy, there's not much going on at this level. Oh well, whatever. Do.
You already got your second to last Star Knight thing last level, so
Yeah,
nothing there
yeah.
either. All right, well, figure out your feat, and we'll go on to
Right here.
Joe, Rebecca, Tyler. One of you guys.
I'll go.
Oh, dang it.
I got you, Tyler, because I'm fast. Yeah, nanocytes get something pretty cool, which is going to change the way that I play this character probably a pretty good bit. Manifold array. So I have 3 different arrays that I can do as a nanocyte: a sheath array, a cloud array, and a gear array. And what manifold array lets me do is use more than one of them at a time, specifically 2 of them. So I could have a gun out with my gear array and all sort of the other gear array stuff, but I could also have my, cloud array out, or I could have, or I could have my sheath array and get my stats stacked up. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now the second array does count as 4 levels lower, so it's not as strong as the original array, but
That's nice to have like a little backup thing. Like you can do the cloud, the scale cloud that you had is kind of like a secondary ongoing thing, right?
Yeah.
That was the one that like gave healing to folks and things, right?
Well, I could use it I could heal when I was the healer. I gave up those because we had a thing, but
You were the healer at one point in this
I was,
game?
yeah. Imagine
I don't
that.
remember that at all.
I still have a bunch of medicine skill, but yeah, that would let me use abilities with anybody touching the cloud, so I could
Right.
heal people within the cloud. But the cloud also does give, if I use a nanocyte surge, a nanite surge, I can get some mischance. So a bunch of my other stuff went up at this level, so yeah, I've got a few other bonuses that are going to kick in, but pretty nice.
Okay.
We gotta save Tyler for last. Tyler's got like the biggest changes.
Dang it, I wasn't paying attention.
Didn't want to go last so fast, and now we're forcing them.
Okay, I got uncanny agility, so I can't be flat-footed. So that's fun.
Always a good one.
And I picked up mobility as my feat because it's a prereq for feats that I actually want. So, I mean, it's not bad, but
Cool. Pretty basic level, sounds like. For
oh, I also have an increase to my trick attack damage and my operative's edge, so
Oh,
I'm
God.
even better at skills across the board.
better at everything, every level. Operatives are in for a reckoning in Starfinder 2E. Prepare prepare for. I think they're still going to be really good, but yeah, I think they're going to be like mechanic level good. You know,
Who fell asleep on the editing floor when anyone touches operative, they're just like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Tyler, talk to us about Praetor. Big changes coming for level 7 Mystic, right?
Big levels. Level 7 is a huge level. Why? Level 3 spells. You get access to those sweet, juicy level 3 spells. Level 3 spells. There are some classics buried in there. Too bad you will never see them on this show because that's not what I do.
We just had a whole conversation last week from when this episode drops about how I honestly thought Mystics were really bad at like offensive stuff. They have so many options now. I think when they started Starfinder,
A little bit thin.
it was pretty, compared to the Technomancer,
Yes.
they were a little thin on what they could do. They have
all sorts of
so many. Tyler.
They have so many things, and like they even have spells which allow you to like alter the damage type of future spells that you cast. So you can be really adaptive if something is, chewing up your damage type, and you're like, well, I don't have any other damage type spells. That's fine. I just adapt that one and keep going. Or I really like Furious Shriek because it's like 66 Sonic damage, and not much can stop Sonic, so it's a really strong one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool. There was a level 3 spell that I didn't take that makes everything in your area flanked, and you don't get attacks of opportunity. It's a really interesting.
Didn't take this like the ear.
Well, because it also affects you guys as well, and so I was just like, man, the positioning on that's going to be really hard because
There's one spell that everyone within like a blast area either gets hasted or slowed on the beginning of their turn. I saw that. So I was like, what? How crazy do you want this combat to be? God, what was the name of that spell? Well, what did you end up taking? Can you tell us?
I will tell you. Yeah, I guess I can tell you both of them. One of the spell I'm very happy about is called Mind of 3. So what it allows Praetor to do is split his personality into 3 different minds, and I can do a whole bunch of stuff with those. So it lasts hours per level, so it's going to be something that I can essentially cast shortly after waking up and not have to worry about it. But I can negate a mind affecting effect, or I can re-roll like a charisma based skill check or intelligence based skill check, or I can re-roll a caster level check, which is really nice for me in case there is spell resistance. So it's going to be a good one, but that was more my utility choice. My super duper fun choice that I'm very excited for is called Mental Block. Mental Block, I can target multiple creatures with this, and it causes them to lose access to their memory, preventing them from using any feat, extraordinary ability, spell, or spell-like ability, or supernatural ability that requires any action of any kind. So essentially, you just don't know how to be you. And that's
really good too.
Yeah, so it does allow for multiple will saves. So every time it's your turn, at the end of your turn, you get a will save. But it is level 3. The DC is pretty high, and so for certain enemies, it could really shut them down. And especially with Jamfram and our operative Asher and Sky dishing out so much damage, I only need to hold them down for 2 rounds maybe.
Like you needed to be more effective against like NPC characters with a mind. Feats, extraordinary abilities, spell-like abilities, and supernatural abilities is like everything that is not an attack.
Yeah. Yes. And then of course, Mind Thrust auto levels up to level 3. So that's 7d10 now for a Mind Thrust.
Yeah, I foresee a much more efficacious prey deer once you stop fighting ghosts and dead creatures and stuff.
And I guess we'll talk about that. I did want to become a little more useful when we are fighting mindless things. So I swapped some lower level spells around.
Look at you.
And I wanted to really because Praetor and Jamfram have been having this little back and forth thing, I wanted it to all really revolve around helping Jamfram. And so the two spells, well, actually, yeah, well, the three spells that I learned / swapped out are Communal Bond, which takes Harrying Fire from +2 to +3. So essentially it's use Wisp Ally, use Communal Bond, get a +3 instead of a +2. Phase Blade, which so I can touch Jamfram, and now his blade will attack EAC instead of KAC for 1 round. So worst case scenario, I'm just spamming him every single time, so he's attacking EAC, so he can hit more often. And then a really fun one called Predict Foe, which allows me to see a foe's attack before it happens. I can concentrate on this spell so that it happens continually. And as a reaction, I can give Jamfram concealment against any attack.
Oh,
That's not bad.
So I can help him. So the whole idea was like, let him hit harder and also let him not take as much damage. Like with Phase Blade, I have to be able to touch him. So it puts Praetor kind of in harm's way. So hopefully we get that fungal undead Leshy. And then there's like the whole thing where like I can go ethereal now, and like who cares about that? But that's pretty much it.
You're a ghost? You fought a ghost and now you have their powers?
Yeah, I kind of drank them. I slurped them up like a Wendy's Frosty, and now I can just kind of hang out in the ethereal plane.
Well, now I have to kill Praetor again. You sound way too powerful. I thought we were all joking around with only mind affecting spells, but you're going to be. But I mean, like, having one person attack EAC instead of KC is basically like giving them an additional +2 bonus. And in this game where, a get 'em is usually the difference between a miss and a hit, that's pretty darn good. And then you also got Rebecca over here flat-footing folks. Imagine just hitting against flat-footed EAC all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to like burn down single targets.
I don't like it. Cool. Level 7 sounds pretty good. That'll do it for book 3 of Horizons of the Vast. Are you all ready to start book 4 right now? Icebound by Jason Tondro.
To be continued.
No, we're playing for another hour or two.
Oh,
that was literally just the pre-credits scroll. We got so much more. No, yeah, so rare that a single word title for these Starfinder APs. Icebound. You guys were in the deserts, and now it's all an ice adventure. What do you guys think about Icebound as a title?
I can't wait for Rebecca to make Icebound and Down art with all of our characters in baseball hats.
I've already done that title. I can't do it again.
Honestly, one of the best title cards, I think. I really like that one. So the fact that you don't remember that, Drew,
it makes me think of Iceborne, Monster Hunter, Iceborne. So I'm a fan.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a feat.
Oh, what you get, you Bert?
We're back.
It's called a defensive stance. So when I take the fight defensively action, when I with my sword, then I become unflankable. So
you got that going for you.
I got that going for
multiple characters not being flankable.
Love it.
That's pretty cool.
Mix.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, you just got to become mindless. They can't do anything to you then.
They can't touch you.
Book 4, excuse me. Icebound by Jason Tondro starts about halfway through the time jump that we are going to be doing. We'll talk a little more about in future episodes, but indeed the adventure begins with a full-on bearded Ezirand Shire inviting you into the conference room of the Veridian
mustache on that man.
Town hall. No, it's a full beard. It's full beard. He's been growing it for a few months now. He's like, "Hey, everybody, welcome in. I've got a presentation for you if you're ready. I got my hologram projector set up. I've made a little presentation."
Wonderful. I sit down.
I know how much you guys like these, so let me get right to it.
I stand back up again.
I'm super pleased to report that the Charter's economy is as healthy as it's ever been, population is giving us all thumbs up. Just about everything that we post. It's lots of hearts and thumbs up. So we're doing really good there. Very few frowny faces, only a few. And we've scouted so much of the developed land in the region, so much we have access to, and we've scouted a lot of sites that would allow us to be a little bit more ambitious with some of our plans to come in the coming months. So I've come up with something along with some other charters, scientific wings that we're calling. He clicks the holographic projector, and it shows like a pretty stylized wing over the words Operation Sharpwing. I was pausing for applause, but I understand you guys probably want to hear more about what it is. I just worked a long time on this logo and the name.
I mean, Sharpwing sounds really good.
Thank you.
I like the sound of a sharp wing. I'm gonna like the idea though, right?
Honestly, you probably not. Operation Sharpwing is a proposed satellite network communications system, very sophisticated and sensitive surveillance / communication tool that we can place in a geosynchronous orbit around the planet. And, if we're successful, these would allow, for geonavigational data for our citizens, allow us to do even faster explorations of the planet, really empower a lot of our personal comm units, and get us back to kind of what we're expecting, pretty much free Wi-Fi wherever we go. And a really powerful tool to monitor rival charters, illegal activity on the planet, and make sure that everyone here on New Galarian is honoring all the treaties and regulations that we agreed to when we decided to take on the responsibility to settle the planet. But yeah, the satellite launches are not going to be easy. We've got teams and some other charters that are working on the designs, the schematics. But, well, while we can replicate a standard satellite schematic fairly easily, we don't have a lot of folks with the expertise, the engineering required to supervise a full launch system for it. So we found some folks with that expertise, but we need to convince them to come to Veridian. And he taps a projector again and changes to a picture of a Pathra woman in glasses. He says that this is Dr. Jan Vaughan. She's a mechanical engineer and astrophysicist from VES 6, and she's currently planet side presenting her research at a science conference hosted over at Greymore. And the Vescarium, with their kind of subjugation of VES 6, the native population there, they've assigned Dr. Vaughan to, I've been told is a military post kind of beneath her. So yeah, she's not got a lot of love for her current job here on planet. She's not got a lot of love for the Vescarium, who's backing Greymore. So I think we have, what they call an opportunity to do a little headhunting. If we can make contact with Dr. Vaughan, persuade her to relocate here, I think in a few months, her brilliant mind, we can put it to good use and get Operation Sharpwing up and running.
Gonna be 100% honest.
Yeah.
With what we have been up to so far, headhunting may be the wrong term to use.
Why? What happened?
Some heads were hunted.
Oh no. Oh, you're talking about when you murdered Oskana, the leader of Plaustov? Everyone's forgot about that. That was a couple months ago.
No, they're totally cool with it. The cops came and they said, it didn't matter. She didn't matter.
My favorite part was when we could have saved her and we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't mention that in your report. Did you guys?
I think there was some mention of a double tap.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I wouldn't write that in an official report.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a picture of Dr. Jan Vaughan.
Does she look like a nerd?
Yeah, I mean, for a Pathra, I think you put any cat in glasses and they automatically get a little nerdy. He's got some other slides to show you various launch mechanics, including rocket assisted or kind of slingshot things, and some various papers and things that she has worked on. Do you guys have any questions about Operation Sharpwing? Sorry, it's not Project Sharpwing. It's Operation Sharpwing.
Yeah, I'm getting some Winter Soldier vibes off of this whole plan. Ezirand, this system that you're talking about constructing, it seems like it would provide a great deal of ability to surveil the members of our colonies. Are we sure this is something that we can do safely? What if this technology were to fall into the wrong hands?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna abuse the power if you give me the keys to the satellites pretty well to track people I don't like and see if they fall down in public and record that to play back in my own time.
Well, he's honest, so I think we should trust him.
But yeah, no, these are going to be super powerful satellites, and they will have potentially facial visual recognition and observation powers.
My God.
But more so, like I said, we can use this besides in helping us map the rest of this planet and map out areas we've not, even dreamed about getting access to yet. Like the poles and the various deserts and other continents on the planet. Besides that, we can also kind of track, and if we want, spy on some of our rival charters. Make sure, like I said, they're doing what they need to do and they're not overstepping their bounds.
What is going to prevent rival charters from being able to track and learn of the existence of these satellites? I imagine that we will be rubbing some folk the wrong way if they learn that this is a capability we have.
Well, I'm sure that their advisor over in some of the other ones, like their Ezirand Shire LaBeouf, is presenting
my
similar
cousin?
plans. Yeah, Ezirand Shire LaBeouf, and I presume that they are likely to be on a doing a similar strategy. So you don't want to fall behind, or do we?
Yeah,
do we want to fall behind?
I mean, I don't want to, but I also just think with us taking on Plaustov and some of the other charters, our nearby charters also kind of growing and maybe making similar kind of connections. I think Greymore and both Celestine and Triumph to the northeast have kind of like a little connection between the three of them. I think we just have to be ready for anything that happens in the future. I feel very strongly about this project. I understand that it is going to be very expensive, but I've already worked out the numbers, and if we divide it up over several months, we can afford this kind of construction project, and it won't have any real impact on the growth of Veridian as a colony. So
last time we left, there was a small but vocal contingent of people who wanted to make sure that a portion of Veridian was staying true to the old ways. I assume that any construction of this advanced technology will be kept perhaps at a more separate site.
Well, like I said, we've in the last few months, you guys have been exploring to the southeast, and there are wide stretches between Plaustov and us that neither colony was really excited about exploring, and we've already identified about half a dozen extremely remote locations where we can build Operation Sharpwing and make sure that we have a good amount of cover for the project. So what do you say? It's a little bit of espionage. It's a little bit of kind of secret mission going to try and poach this scientist from another colony. But I think you guys are ready for this kind of mission. Get our colony ahead.
I'm gonna roll a D100, and based on where the number lands in the 100, closer to 100 is gonna be more into it. Closer to 1 is gonna be not into it at all.
Oh, okay. We're playing. It sounds like Drew doesn't have a lot of feelings on this, so he's going to let the dice decide.
Gosh, this is one of those times where I would love to see a 100 come up, Well,
Zelk seems pretty into it, it looks like.
I could be convinced.
Sounds pretty good to me. I just imagine Jamfram wouldn't be into it because it is very high tech and also maybe pretty invasive.
Yeah, I think my problems with it are less specifically about it being technological thing. I mean, I realize that everyone else around me is living in the future and doesn't, and I don't like yell at people for having iPads and stuff, but so
You should yell at
I'm
them.
going to start though. I'm going to start. So, but I do think that there's a concerning implication to the direction that our government could likely take if we lean in and become too reliant on these sorts of technologies. But I will support the initiative or the operation because
I think Asher is very torn on this because Asher would be concerned about the personal security aspect of this, right? Like they are protective of their own identity and their own, not secrets so much as just, personal freedoms and whatever.
I don't want anyone to see me
But at
playing
the same
music in my
time,
room.
yeah. But you don't need to know what music I'm listening to in the comfort of my own home, right?
Yeah.
Like
What genre?
That's none of your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, they have also been suspicious of even those immediately around them for the entirety of our 2-year stay in
Oh right, there was a mole,
area?
wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I know, that has not wrapped up, right? Like Asher was informed that there was an imposter or a nefarious
Why do you have to keep
member
bringing
among
it
our
up?
party.
That seems real mole-esque behavior, Rebecca. Just continuously reminding everyone that story was not at all resolved completely.
Yeah, it's really
How dare
suspicious
you.
of you. You know what? We're gonna send up one satellite that's just for you. That's it.
Dishonor.
The
Wait, I'm
Asher
confused. Was it
skylight.
wrapped up? Was it wrapped up?
All
Did I
Asher
miss
and
that
Sky.
plot line?
Oh no, one of you is still very much
Okay,
a
okay.
dirty liar.
Thank you for confirming. Yeah, so I think Asher is very torn on that. I think that they definitely see the benefit or potential benefit of having these satellites to increase our security, to increase surveillance, to potentially root out any kind of nefarious behavior among any of our immediate party or others in the colony. But at the same time, yeah, nobody needs to know my Spotify playlist, right?
Yeah, how dare they?
That's between me and Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And only Taylor Swift.
And Travis Kelce.
Well,
Obviously.
yeah. Obviously, he can know. He's cool.
I love that I just said that, and it's going to date this episode so much for anybody that listens to it in the far future.
You mean in
What
the
did
year
you say?
1000? Yeah. I mean, wait. That's
What did you say, Drew?
Oh, that Travis Kelce will also know the Spotify playlist that Taylor Swift knows because they're
Drew,
currently in the
they're
year of
gonna
our Lord
last
2024.
forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you
I
suggesting
don't know
they're going
what
to
you're
break
talking
up?
about.
yeah. They are. they are life mates. They are soulmates. They will
Yeah.
never, ever break up. Mark
Hold-
my words.
Hold on. Let me.
I really hope.
You know
by
what? I hope
the
one of
time
their
this-
grandkids listens to this episode and is like, what an idiot.
If one of their
let me
grandkids is
check
listening
our
to Cosmic
low
Crit,
orbit
we've done
satellites.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm more worried about our listeners listening to it and being like, what an idiot.
That. But they already know we're dumb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know we
Everyone,
don't- they
everyone
know we
should have
don't
a
know
pretty
things.
good understanding how dumb we are. Yeah. Any other questions for Ezirand? He's super
Yeah,
excited about Operation Sharpwing. I don't know if
Question,
you
Ezirand.
gathered this. Yeah. Yes.
If I were to shoot this whole project down,
Mhm.
is there anything else we
Oh.
would be doing for the next few?
Miles it up, dude.
Months?
Do it. Eat the paper. Eat the paper.
Eat the
I-
paper should not be a
I'm
term.
just trying to get an understanding of,
It shouldn't, Patrick, but he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, honestly, I think if we don't get a start on this project, then I'm worried that another colony would do something very similar, and you would probably have to be dealing with their satellites and their and their launching of said satellites
Our
and
track history of dealing with
we'd
other
be
colonies is pretty decent.
we'd be way behind. So
This is very sounding like
it seems
a
like
whole war of escalation where I have to develop this because you're going to develop this, and then they have to develop something else.
Well, I'm
This
just
is
saying,
how-
if
this is literally the road to like nuclear Armageddon that so many people have discussed over the course of history.
I just think if you throw away, he's holding a small paperback, like say the story of our book. Have you ever read Icebound by Jason Tondreau? It's one of my favorite books.
No, I agree.
Throw the plot away. I'm gonna have to figure out something that's 10 times more difficult and very similar to what author
Honestly,
Jason
a
Tondreau
book of
just
Patrick
wrote.
having to like just like improv sounds pretty fun though.
How about this?
I mean, not to him, but
I will say we're skipping at least like all of part 1 of this book if you decide not to do this.
Ezirand,
Mhm.
I really
Yeah.
like the idea of having free Wi-Fi wherever I walk, and I certainly
right.
like to be like. I certainly do like the idea
Call it Starfinder
being-
Link.
of being able to like. I personally have no moral qualms about spying on people. However, that said, I do feel like we should install some sort of safeguard that just prevents anybody from walking in to wherever the control center for these satellites are going
Like a
to be,
padlock.
and just looking up everybody's search history. So, what's your proposal for security measures? Like, are we going to have multiple keys that people have to turn here? Is there going to be a cascading sort of password where each person has part of the cascade that they have to input? Is there going to be like a DNA sequencing activation? I just would like some peace of mind knowing that we're not about to create something that is going to go radically south on us.
Well, there's 6 of us. I imagine we can make 6 passwords and do something like a majority of them have to be entered in order to gain access to the system. And it
you know
shuts
that Jam
down.
is gonna be password.
One
jam from
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can I make Jamfrom's password, please? Is that going to be
Admin.
Jam from its password with an exclamation point at the end. So
Yeah,
you're
they'll
good.
never get
Passwords are inefficient. DNA, however, is interesting.
Yeah, redacted. You haven't said much, but I imagine a super spy network ringing the planet, and I just imagine this would be right up your alley. Are you excited about Operation Sharpwing?
This being shares the concerns of the one prey deer.
Well, yeah, we can definitely talk about security systems for it, but well, like I said, before we get to that, we do have to get Jan Vaughan over to our side. And
Well, I
then-
have one more piece of feedback. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's good.
Can we call it
Please.
Operation Sneak a Peek instead?
Oh, I spent so much time on Sharpwing Jam from. I love your
Wait.
enthusiasm.
Sneak a peek has an appeal.
Well, can we call?
It's a little on the nose, if you ask me.
Can we call it Project Sneak a Peek after it's built?
Okay, that's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
up until then,
Project
Sharpwing.
Sneak a Peek was on the air from post gap year 315
Ignore
to
everything
post
that
gap
one
year
says.
322.
All right, fine. We'll call it the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh boy, deep cuts. Any questions about Vaughan or the plan to poach her?
So the plan is to convince this Dr. Vaughan to join the side of this colony, correct?
Yeah, pretty much to break contract and literally just fly away from Greymore with you guys.
And the presumption is that this doctor is 100% gonna do that.
Well,
100%, but-
that's going to be kind of your guys' job, you know.
What sucks the most is we're asking them to break contract with the Viscarion, a totally non-warfaring, loving.
Right.
They love rule breakers.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, you know, since they entered into the pact, citizens of the Viscarium are free to come and go as they please. And
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like they consider Dr. Vaughan to be particularly important. Like I said,
Oh,
she's not doing advanced research right now. So I don't think they're going to go to war over one underappreciated scientist. I don't know about you guys, but
Skittermanders came from Vesk Space, and they're extremely helpful. Just saying.
What if she's a Skittermander? Oh wait, no, she's a Petra.
No, she's yeah.
I've already shown you. Did you not look at my presentation at all?
I was playing on my iPad. This is why we don't need technology.
Well, I mean,
Put out the window. I can't keep giving you iPad jam. I need you to keep one and don't crack the screen, please.
All right. I think
it is entirely on you for not understanding how Jamfram works.
No, I mean it's your guys' job. You gotta infiltrate. There's a conference being held next week at Campus 1 in Greymoor's only settlement, and she's gonna be giving a lecture. So you need to make contact, find out, what it would take to get her to come over to our side, and maybe secure it in writing, maybe get a contract with her, and maybe explain what we want to do here with Operation Sharpwing. I think the challenge might be enough to convince her.
All right, but we are going to seriously tone down the spy part of Operation.
If the group is to understand this, you want this group to go to this doctor, to break their contract, to sign a new contract, and expect them to honor it, despite the fact that we're going to them to break the contract.
Well, yeah, that's about the long and short of it.
Yeah, I can see this going well.
I think it's really important as we enter into the interview process to ensure a good cultural fit, really weigh not only whether we would be a good fit for her, but also if she would be a good fit for us. I think it goes both ways. We want to make sure that it's a mutually beneficial.
We want to make sure she's appreciated, somewhere where she can use her skills to the utmost.
Yes, but we also want to ensure that she appreciates us. It's an opportunity for her as much as it is for us, right?
I mean,
I think
mutually
that's fair.
beneficial.
I think she'll really appreciate our colony if we get free Wi-Fi everywhere you go, even in like the mountains and stuff.
And worst case scenario, I simply try to dominate her mind and use the spell command to force her to sign a contract, thus ensnaring her.
Those are binding.
Now that is an interesting proposition.
I don't think that is legally binding.
I mean, only if they catch you.
Quick, change the rules. Change the law real quick. Okay.
I mean, aren't we the legal experts in our own colony? Don't we?
Yeah, Ezirand, quit being a
place?
fuddy-duddy.
Once again, you guys are under pact laws as well, because you're all yes, we've had this discussion several times. You're all
Remember when that guy came up to the guy flew a long way.
Didn't we just tell them to go, prompt themselves?
of companies that are tied to the pact. So yes, you can't break Geneva Conventions, and you can't just murder everyone.
Sounds fake to me.
I mean, you
can, but you can't get caught.
So Redacted is more concerned with the idea of, the fact that the group is trying to get this doctor to sign a contract, but by doing so, it betraying another contract, which inevitably puts them into being suspect.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we're not going to trust this person. We're just literally using them.
Right. So long as that's understood that this person is not to be trusted.
I mean, it's a contract that she can quit. It's not like
we're asking her. We're asking her to take a job.
Contracts are binding in Veridian.
Oh, okay.
And they are binding and dealt with accordingly.
Right. I do like that the idea of mentally manipulating someone to sign a contract, somewhat reprehensible to the group, but the Skynet-esque satellite system seems to be going over quite well.
Again, Redacted has a problem with neither of those things.
Yeah,
we were in the mountains last week, and we were getting 5G plus in some sections, and then 50 feet down the road, we're getting no signal at all.
You're talking about in real life. Okay.
In real life, yeah.
Redacted needs to hear that.
I'm a little excited about having Wi-Fi everywhere, but
this is great.
I walked up by the lake in Wakefield, Gibert, the other day on Free RPG Day, and was only getting like half a bar. I was like, what?
Dude, I can't make phone calls in my basement. It's just like
I'm so confused.
It's something about my service is just like absolutely.
So this is what's informing the character's decisions, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we want 5 bars. We want
I want more
8G.
bars. I want more bars.
The guys making Dr. Jan were just like, line it with lead. But yeah, why not? Line it with lead.
Dr. Jan
Nothing's getting
Vaughan
through this
has
sucker.
proposed 6G, so she's ready to take you guys to another level.
I love it.
the GM and Jam from are like, yeah.
Love it.
Right,
Outside in the bushes looking for my iPad.
Any special plans or any other questions for me about how potentially this Operation Sharpwing is gonna?
Yeah. So
what's the
renamed this-
pretense? What's the pretense for us going to Greymore for the conference? Is there any pretense?
I mean, you guys are leaders.
We felt like it.
Of a you're leaders of a charter, so it's not unheard of for.
And you said Greymore and Triumph and Little Axiom are kind of like their own little triangle of helping each other.
Greymore, Triumph, and Celestine.
Oh, Celestine. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't like Celestine.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
What?
LSD?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, right. Well, the next thing you need to do is find your wheels, because the party was supposed to, in last book, get a starship, and I took pity on you and chose not to.
We
But
gotta walk to this place.
No, you gotta get a starship now.
Road trip.
No, between this week and next week, I want you guys to pick maybe a ship. I can give you some suggestions, and this week, we see you maybe in the next week opening up a hangar bay in your colony's charter where a ship has been delivered, and you see just the outline of it in this darkened bay as some lights flood behind it.
It's got a blue arrow
big
on it,
ol'-
and that looks a little bit like a smile.
Big old outline of corpuscent lighting that makes it kind of look heavenly, and the lighting around the ship spells out the words "to be continued," as we've got some decisions to make on a starship finally for the podcast. I think I would like to try some more narrative starship combats, because obviously you guys are over regular starship combats, but yeah, we be thinking about a tier 7 starship potential use.
Okay.
Between this week and next. And we're going to start book 4 in full force next week.
I would personally
let's-
request that it has a cool stripe.
Okay, well, that's
Racing
pretty-
stripes
easily
and,
done.
and flames down the sides.
I
Oh
would say
no, but it
you
was
can also,
brown and underneath it. Oh no.
You can also make one from scratch if anybody wants, but there's tons of pre-made stuff. You could just take my suggestion was a modified ATEC Bulwark, which is just kind of a classic starship, and one that could be found in book 5 of the Dead Sun's Adventure Path. Just a big old destroyer.
Big old chunking thing.
Can't
Just
put that
a
off.
destroyer? Really?
Yeah, pretty big.
Wow.
Pretty big ship.
Cool.
Boom, boom.
But yeah, there's plenty of other ships to look at. That'll be next week, and we'll get to the conference and beyond then. Until then, guys, thank you for playing with me.
Well, thank you,
You're
Patrick.
welcome.
Thank you.
Well, listeners, thanks for listening. We'll catch you on next week's episode. Cosmic Crit. Bye.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, the Starfinder role-playing game, and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.